Good morning. These are your Nassau Guardian highlights for Friday, March 27th, 2026, brought to you by Your Daily Bahamas Headlines, especially for people on the go and those who are visually impaired. We begin with the main story. Prime Minister Philip Davis is urging Bahamians to register to vote before Easter, signaling that a general election could be near. Speaking yesterday, the Prime Minister encouraged those who have not yet registered to do so as soon as possible and told the public to stay tuned, suggesting that people who are reading the tea leaves may already sense that an election announcement could come soon. While the exact date has not been announced, members of the Progressive Liberal Party have hinted that the election could be only weeks away. Party chairman Fred Mitchell recently said the country is now on election watch, and the Prime Minister has urged party branches and polling divisions across the country to be prepared. Another front-page story focuses on calls for equal justice in cases involving police shootings. Candy Gibson, founder of Families of All Murder Victims, says she hopes cases involving Bahamians killed by police will receive the same swift attention as the recent case involving an American worker. Cody Castillo was shot during an incident outside a bar in New Providence last weekend. Within days, a senior police officer was charged with murder in connection with the case and denied bail when he appeared in court. Gibson says while she supports justice in this case, similar urgency should be shown in cases involving Bahamian victims as well. In national news, the government has signed a $986,000 contract to construct a new airport terminal in Room K and has also opened new clinics in Room K, San Salvador, and Cat Island. Officials say the new terminal will include modern facilities and improved infrastructure aimed at strengthening airlift and encouraging tourism and economic growth in the Family Islands. The project is part of the government's broader Family Island Renaissance initiative. Turning to business news, the Freeport Licensee Association is asking the government to explain how it plans to recover the borrowing costs related to its proposed acquisition of the Grand Bahama Power Company, while also lowering electricity costs for residents. The group says the public needs clear answers about whether the valuation of the power company is reasonable and whether government ownership will truly improve performance or reduce electricity bills. Another business story reports that the Bahamas is among 60 countries being investigated by the United States Trade Representative over policies related to forced labor. The review will examine whether countries have adopted and effectively enforced laws prohibiting the importation of goods produced using forced labor and whether such practices affect American commerce. Now to the editorial titled An Unfinished Agenda. The editorial says that as the country approaches another general election, several governance reforms promised by the Davis administration remain incomplete. These include the full implementation of the Freedom of Information Act and other transparency measures. While the editorial acknowledges achievements such as the reduction of VAT and infrastructure development in the Family Islands, it argues that many accountability and governance commitments remain unfinished as the government prepares to return to the voters. In the letters to the editor section, one letter titled Our Ownership Fantasy Must End argues that ownership of land or property alone does not create wealth unless those assets can be financed, developed, and used productively. The writer calls for reforms that make it easier for Bahamians to turn assets into real economic opportunity. Another letter titled, It Took Just 4 Days questions why the police shooting case involving an American moved through the courts so quickly when similar cases involving Bahamian victims often take much longer. And a third letter titled One Justice System, Two Standards raises broader concerns about fairness and accountability in policing and calls for improved training and consistent justice for all families affected by police-involved shootings. Those are your Nassau Guardian highlights for today. For the full stories and additional coverage, be sure to purchase a copy of the Nassau Guardian or visit their website to read the complete edition. Remember, staying informed helps strengthen our communities and our democracy. Enjoy your day, be blessed, and be a blessing.